Here's your KNDY weatherology forecast for northeast Kansas and southeast Nebraska. Ample sunshine expected today with daytime highs approaching 66. Clear skies tonight, lows level off around 34. Highs level off around 72. Tomorrow, sunny skies. Much cooler Saturday and Sunday with highs from the low 30s to the mid 50s. Mixed precipitation likely Sunday. I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Currently 54.
Mid-America Network News. A pickup crashed head-on into a school bus yesterday morning in rural central Kansas. It happened around 7:15 a.m. near Lost Springs in Marion County, according to the Kansas Highway Patrol. Investigators said a 75-year-old man from Lost Springs fell asleep at the wheel. His pickup drifted into the eastbound lane and hit a school bus, which had already come to a stop. 7 students were on the bus. 1 had a possible injury but did not need to go to the hospital. The bus driver was not injured. The driver of the pickup truck was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. Several cottage cheese products sold at Walmart under the Great Value label are being recalled. The products are being recalled because some of the liquid dairy ingredients used may not have been fully pasteurized. This could pose a significant health risk. I'm Stephanie Austin.
Professional excavators and homeowners, safety always comes first, and safe digging is no accident. So before you begin your next digging project, remember to call Kansas 811 to have your underground utility lines marked for free. Know what's below. Call 811 before you dig. So play it safe. Put down the shovel, pick up the phone, and call 811 first. This message is brought to you by Kansas 811, reminding you that no matter if your digging project is big or small, don't make a judgment call. Always call 811 before you dig.
Burwell Construction has been a trusted name in the roofing business as a local company. Whether you're still trying to get a new roof from storms or have general wear and tear, call Burwell Construction at 316-794-3430. Burwell Construction will evaluate your roof and work with you from start to finish, even help with any insurance claims. Join the thousands of others and trust your next roof to Burwell Construction. 316-794-3430 or burwellconstruction.com.
If it's built well, it's Burwell. Burwell Construction.
Law enforcement investigating a home invasion knife attack have made an arrest. Just after 3 a.m. on Tuesday, a 28-year-old woman arrived at the Salina Regional Health Center with stab wounds on her leg. The victim was at her home in North Salina when a known associate forced her way into the residence through a door and stabbed her multiple times. The suspect is identified as 42-year-old Alicia Martinez Rivas. She's being held in the Saline County Jail on requested charges of aggravated battery, aggravated burglary, criminal threat, aggravated intimidation of a witness, battery, and criminal damage to property. The Kansas House yesterday voted to alter significant provisions of a bipartisan property tax reform bill, granting the public a direct voice in decisions by local government to raise property taxes more than 3% annually. The House agreed to an amendment lowering by half the signature threshold on protest petitions used to block a city or a county from exceeding the cap.
Duzine Enterprises has been laying floors all over our area since 1962. That's miles and miles of carpet, laminate, tile, hardwood, and vinyl. And they are so good at it that their schedule is filling up fast. So while good things come to those who wait, if you have a remodel or a new construction project in your near future, you should probably get on their schedule today. So call 785-325-2379. That's 785-325-2379. Duzine Enterprises in Washington. Why would you go anywhere else? Financing available.
Nebraska, Mid-America Network News. I'm Andy Hoosier. Nebraska Republicans say they are working on another bill that would prioritize a constitutional amendment in the state that would seek to alter how Nebraska awards their electoral college votes for President of the United States. As according to the Nebraska Examiner, according to State Senator Fred Meyer of the St. Paul, Nebraska area, they say they prioritize the proposal that would let voters decide if the state should change their awarding a single electoral vote to the popular vote winner to awarding all 5 votes to the statewide winner. According to State legislators, they say that President Donald Trump and the White House in Washington, D.C. have pressed the state of Nebraska to change their approach to the Omaha's 2nd Congressional District when it comes to the Electoral College votes. As Meyer says that the governor's office right now thinks it's directly tied to the amount of funding that Nebraska may receive back from Washington, D.C., and want to see the issue be a good faith effort within the state. Nebraska and Maine are the only 2 states in the nation that do split their Electoral College votes. Mid-America Network News.
Life on the farm can be tough. Uncertainty in the weather, crop prices, trade deals, and so much more. How do you keep up with it all to make your farm successful? That's where we come in. Join me, James Guerin, with the Mid-America Ag Network with your hourly ag commodities, daily weather, soil moisture, and humidity reports. Plus, keep up with the latest regional and national news affecting the ag markets. Let's work together in making your farm thrive. And it's all right here on the Mid-America Ag Network.
In 2022, Mother Nature will of course bring unexpected challenges to U.S. farmers as she always does. One proven way for reducing your risk exposure is to start your growing season by planting professionally produced seed from authorized seed companies and seed retailers. The Seed Innovation and Protection Alliance is a 100-member industry group focused on communicating the many benefits of investing in U.S. seed innovation. SEPA seed companies invest 15% of their sales into plant breeding, trait development, genome editing, seed conditioning, packaging, and service. To anonymously report a seed infringement, call 1-844-SEED Tip.
Reporting local news, I'm Bruce Dierking. Marysville City Council Monday spent considerable time discussing merits and particulars of hiring a full-time code inspector. Among discussion was adequate starting wage to attract qualified candidates, concerns with marginal other assignments with other city departments, and whether the city could reduce or eliminate the post if city cleanup is accomplished. Council went back and forth, finally revising the wage range, which was recommended at $18 per hour, to a range from $18 to $27 per hour on a full-time basis with full-time city benefits. The final motion to move forward passed on a 7-1 vote, with Councilman Jeff Keating voting no. Keating was not against code enforcement, but had questions with the job description and existing staff previously involved with part-time code enforcement. A request for proposal will be sought for several street projects, including Jackson from 9th to 11th Streets, 4th Street from Elm to Broadway, and a short portion of Dawson Drive. The motion to move forward passed on a unanimous vote after comparing merits and cost of concrete and significance of the short work at Dawson Drive. Tyler Holloman with Frontier Development Group was present with a purchase contract for the commercial buildings on the Kester block. His group would take ownership with plans to develop second and third floor rental housing with improvements to commercial buildings on the block as presented previously. At an earlier council meeting, Holloman had asked outright purchase before work begins in order to qualify for federal tax credit investments that could close a funding gap after initial redevelopment had doubled in cost from $2 to $2.5 million to a total expected over $4 million. The purchase contract was approved unanimously. An 18-month construction timeline is expected, pending final permits and approvals expected soon. Council unanimously approved a resolution in support of proposed improvements outlined for the North 7th Street corridor from US 36 north to Calhoun Street. City Administrator updated conversation on a new animal shelter and appropriate size being determined. 14 kennels have been purchased and will be transported from North Platte when a location for placement on city property is designated. Marshall County Arts Cooperative is hosting the Chardon Polka Band this week for a series of performances, including grade schools and the Blue Valley Care Home in Blue Rapids. The band will perform in Vermilion Thursday evening at the Community Center at 7, and then at Venue 36 in Marysville Saturday evening, with polka dance lessons at 6 and a concert at 7. $10 tickets available in advance at the One Marysville office or online at marshallcountyarts.org. The Arts Center in Marysville has Eric Stern's pottery exhibit showing for a final week through Friday and will be open Friday noon to 6 at the Arts Center at 201 South 8th Street. 44th Annual Baileyville Benefit Basketball Tournament will be held at Nemaha Central High School in Seneca Saturday and Sunday, benefiting 4 area residents with help toward medical expenses for Theo Nesbitt, Coughlin Rethman, Kurt Wurtenberger, Ann Wurtenberger, and Rory Melius. Games, concessions, silent and live auctions will be held among activities. Melvin Ringstorff, age 90 of Bremen, passed away Tuesday. Funeral service Friday, 10 a.m. at the Bethlehem Lutheran Church, rural Bremen. Burial of the church cemetery. Visitation Thursday, 1 until 8. Family will greet friends Thursday from 5 until 7 at Kinsley Mortuary of Marysville, in charge of arrangements for Melvin Ringstorff. Lewis L. Carter, age 98 of Morrowville, passed away Monday. Funeral service Saturday, 10:30 from St. Augustine's Catholic Church, Washington. Burial in the Washington City Cemetery. Family visitation Friday, 5 until 7 p.m. at the Ward Funeral Home of Washington, in charge of arrangements for Lewis Carter. Carol J. Lester, age 81 of Marysville, passed away Friday. Funeral service Saturday, 11 a.m. from Kinsley Mortuary in Marysville. Burial in the Marysville City Cemetery. Kinsley's in charge of arrangements for Carol Lester. Gerald A. Meyer, age 80 of Blue Rapids, passed away Saturday. Memorial service is planned March 14th at 11:30 at the Blue Rapids Fire Department, with the Christy Anders Funeral Home in charge of arrangements for Gerald Meyer. Sharon D. Marks, age 84 of Marysville, passed away. Kinsley's in charge of arrangements for Sharon Marks.
Whether you're going to spend your time on the golf course, jetting off to some popular vacation spot, or simply spending time with your family, it's time to start saving for that nest egg. And United Bank and Trust can help you do that with an IRA. Offering a full line of IRAs, United Bank and Trust has trained professionals to help you begin planning for your future. On the course, on the road, or at home. United Bank and Trust. Banking for your way of life. Member FDIC.
Here's your KNDY weatherology forecast for northeast Kansas and southeast Nebraska. Mostly sunny skies today with our highs in the lower to mid 60s. Staying clear overnight tonight with our lows in the mid to upper 30s. More sunshine and even warmer throughout Friday with our highs in the upper 60s and lower 70s. Then mostly clear skies throughout Friday night with our lows in the upper 20s and lower 30s. More sunshine as we head into Saturday with our highs in the mid to upper 50s. Then a slight chance for some snow showers throughout Saturday night, otherwise partly cloudy with our lows in the upper teens and lower 20s. Some snow showers are possible throughout Sunday, otherwise mostly cloudy with our highs in the upper 30s and lower 40s. Some snow showers possible into Sunday night, mostly cloudy with our lows in the upper teens and lower 20s. There will be a slight chance for some rain and snow showers on a Monday, mostly cloudy with our highs in the lower to upper 40s. Then a slight chance for some rain and snow throughout Monday night with our lows in the upper 20s. Rain showers are possible throughout the day on Tuesday, mostly cloudy with our highs in the upper 40s and lower 50s. Then more rain showers possible throughout Tuesday night with our lows in the upper 20s and lower 30s. I'm meteorologist Carol Foster.
Average high temperature late February 48, record high on this date 81. The average low 23 and the record low 3 degrees below zero. Sunset this evening 6:16, sunrise in the morning at 7:05.
Ailing animals can't tell us what's bothering them, but a clever veterinarian has found a diagnostic tool for aging kitty cats. That story today from the Old Farmer's Almanac.
Let's talk about your health insurance. There are a lot of reasons why people need affordable health insurance. But here's the bottom line. You know you need affordable health insurance. For you, a spouse, a family member, whatever. I'm going to give you a free hotline to call to find affordable health insurance that can cover all your health insurance needs in case you get sick or have an emergency. Plus, cover vision, dental, and more. And there are no long-term commitments. You can keep your plan as long as it's affordable. And for the price of a cup of coffee. We're not talking about one of those fancy coffees. For the price of a regular cup of coffee a day, you can have quality, affordable health insurance. Call the Health Insurance Hotline for a free quote.
800-761-7341. 800-761-7341. 800-761-7341. That's 800-761-7341.
With more practical tips and useful advice, this is the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report for Thursday, February 26th, the 57th day of the year. Johnny Cash was born on this day, and New York City installed its first automated red and green traffic lights in 1930. Would you know if your cat was suffering from osteoarthritis? It's a common feline affliction, but their aloof personalities and tendency to hide symptoms means it often goes undiagnosed. Rather than limping, cats will shift weight on their paws in a way that outwardly looks normal while they suffer in silence. But a Swedish veterinarian has been using a novel diagnostic tool. A simple pressure mat can detect if a cat is unevenly shifting its weight. It's proven to be a reliable tool for finding what's bothering fussy felines and cantankerous kitties. That's the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report. Learn more at almanac.com.
Ag News from the Mid-America Ag Network, I'm James Guerin. The understanding of the current status of the mental health of our farmers and ranchers has caught the ears of Brooke Rollins, who is the Secretary of Agriculture with the USDA. The suicide rate among farmers is heartbreakingly high, comparable to that of veterans, and it's an issue that can no longer be overlooked. Recognizing the urgency, conversations have already taken place with Doug Collins, the secretary at the VA, who comes from a background familiar to many in the farming community. He's been engaged in the discussions on how to move forward, and new initiatives are expected to roll out soon. A strong believer in the vision of the Founding Fathers, the speaker emphasized the importance of state acting as laboratories of democracy where real innovation begins. Rather than relying solely on the federal government, they've been working closely with agricultural commissioners and governors, including Governor Pillen, to develop and support state-driven solutions. Mental health challenges facing farmers and ranchers remain a top priority in those efforts.
Attention business owners, this is Kansas Secretary of State Scott Schwab. Business information reports are now required to be filed every other year, allowing my office to modernize and reduce your filing fee. If you file business information reports in even numbered years, visit sos.ks.gov to file your report. These reports are due April 15th. If you have any questions, please contact my office. Again, that's sos.ks.gov. And this is Secretary of State Scott Schwab, and thank you for the honor of serving as your Secretary of State.
Sponsored by the Office of the Secretary of State and aired in cooperation with this station.
Is your flow running low? It may be time to upgrade your well and ensure your water flow is running safe and efficient. Winnegar Drilling offers water well drilling, water well service, trenching services, and so much more. Give them a call today, 316-729-5881, or find them online at winnegardrilling.com.
Count on Winnegar Drilling. We'll bring that water up.
Kansas State University has announced that they are launching a new subscription-based platform aimed at connecting fans with student athletes at the university. As KSNT News reports that according to the athletics department at Kansas State University, they have announced the debut of the Cats Plus that officially launched at the end of this past week. They say it is a membership program that is designed to give fans exclusive digital content and behind-the-scenes access for ongoing athletics events. As according to Gene Taylor, the athletics director for the university, they say, quote, as college athletes evolve, we must keep up and be proactive. They say the program is particularly valuable for K-State fans who no longer live in the region but still want to stay connected to the university and their teams. There are options for both monthly and annual memberships where you will get information that include the behind-the-scenes content for K-State teams, exclusive features on student athletes and coaches, new videos, podcasts, access to classic game replays, early opportunities to purchase digital items and merchandise, and even entries for sweepstakes for Kansas State-related experiences and products.
Thursday night, Sub-State basketball, Marysville boys tip off at Jeff West, 6 p.m. live on AM 1570, FM 94.1. Valley Heights girls host Washington County at 6 on FM 95.5. Sub-District boys championships Thursday. Southern will host Bruning Davenport Shickley at 6:30. De La Rodelle at Falls City Sacred Heart Thursday at 7. Friday night, Marysville girls tip off at Oskaloosa, 6 p.m. live on AM 1570, FM 94.1. Marysville High sends 4 wrestlers to state Friday and Saturday at Salina. Carly Throm, Layla Schoonmaker, Bo Busman, and Keegan Waters.
Increase your gardening success by selecting plants suited to your cold hardiness zone and other environmental conditions. Hi, I'm Melinda Myers, horticulturist and gardening expert. Hardiness zones reflect the average minimum temperatures for an area. Buying cold hardy plants help reduce losses when extreme winter temperatures occur. You'll find the USDA Plant Hardiness Map printed in garden books and catalogs. Locate your town on the map and match the color of your region on the map key. Or enter your zip code at the USDA Plant Hardiness Map website, and your hardiness zone and minimum winter temperature range will appear. Each hardiness zone represents areas within a 10-degree Fahrenheit range of minimum temperatures. This zone is subdivided into 5-degree segments to more precisely represent the area within each zone. The lower the number, the colder the winter temperatures. Check out our website for this and other gardening tips.
Ranching in the late 1800s could be a difficult life. One item that made it even more challenging here was the threat of cattle rustlers. It seemed just about anyone and everyone might steal a steer or a cow. The story of the queen of the cattle rustlers is next on the American Countryside.
Stream your favorite Farm Journal programs, podcasts, and personalities with the new Farm Journal TV app. You'll enjoy on-demand access to the agriculture information you need from the sources you trust. It's all at your fingertips and on your schedule, anytime, anywhere. The Farm Journal TV streaming app gives you all the must-see Farm Journal shows, all the podcasts from our expanding network, along with exclusive and early view content. You can stream on your phone or smart TV. And you can download programs and watch offline. Go to farmjournaltv.com now to get the special half-off introductory offer, which gives you unlimited access to all this content with a free 14-day trial subscription and the special price of $49 for a full year. Use code BIGDEAL to get this special rate. Don't miss a minute. Subscribe today at farmjournaltv.com.
Ann Bassett was born in today's Moffat County at Browns Park, Colorado in 1878. As Paul Knowles at the Museum of Northwest Colorado explains, she became one of the area's most colorful characters.
As she grows up, she becomes a very attractive woman, as well as her sister Josie, who's a few years older than her, and their mother dies in 1892.
Without motherly supervision, the two girls had freedom in the wide-open frontier.
One of their good friends was Isom Dart, the black cowboy, and Ann's, she claimed her fiancé was Matt Rash.
Dart and Rash were both cowboys in the area. Cattle baron Ora Haley, who owned the Two-Bar Ranch, accused locals of stealing some of his cattle. The reality is there was most likely rustling of cattle taking place on both sides. Ora Haley wanted to send a message.
Well, Tom Horn, the most famous gun for hire out of the Old West, was actually hired to come in and scare some of these homesteaders. But the large cattle operations had enough, so they sent Tom Horn in to send a message. And he ended up killing Ann Bassett's fiancé, and then also this Isom Dart, who was a good friend of the Bassetts as well.
Ann and her sister Josie were known to hang out with the outlaws of that day, and she made it her personal mission to be a thorn in the side of Haley and the Two-Bar Ranch for killing her friends. Haley even had Bassett brought to trial twice for cattle rustling, but she was acquitted both times.
She became known as Queen of the Cattle Rustlers after that, and she later admitted that she basically did everything she was accused of. So she was a fascinating woman, very much associated with the outlaws of the day.
Bassett later wrote of those trials as those elaborate tournaments where men enjoyed the pastime sport of having me arrested and dragged through the court for various alleged crimes against the lordy Two-Bar, many of which I was as guilty as hell. Her infamous stories are still part of the county lore here. Traveling the countryside in Craig, Colorado, I'm Andrew McCrae.
Combat cabin fever by looking for shed antlers from a white-tailed deer. Hi, I'm Jody Hankey. Stay tuned for tips on where and when to do your wildlife treasure hunting as you're living the country life.
Living the country life. Ideas and inspiration for your place in the country. You can find more information on today's topic and from previous shows by visiting us online at livingthecountrylife.com. We'll return to the show after these messages.
Check out our full lineup of Successful Farming podcasts. The Successful Farming podcast goes in-depth into the topics that affect farmers and ranchers. The 15 Minutes with a Farmer podcast offers a quick conversation between an editor and a farmer. The SF Shorts podcast offers bite-sized interviews about agricultural topics. And the SF Daily podcast covers commodity markets, weather, and the big things happening in agriculture each morning. Search for Successful Farming wherever you download your podcasts. If you're looking for ideas and inspiration for your place in the country, register for the Living the Country Life newsletter. You'll receive helpful tips and information about a wide variety of seasonal topics, including pets, livestock, gardening, machinery, and more, delivered straight to your inbox twice each month. Sign up for your newsletter today at agriculture.com.
On a sunny chilly winter day a few years ago, my kids and I went out to the woods to look for deer antlers. We didn't find any, but it was nice to get out of the house. White-tailed bucks naturally shed their antlers when testosterone levels drop after the breeding season. They grow a new set of antlers beginning in the spring. People like to decorate their homes and cabins with antler chandeliers and other antler crafts, so there is a demand for antlers and the desire to find them. Joe Shed, yes, that's his real name, is a wildlife writer and an expert in shed antler hunting. He says you'll have the best luck if you think like a deer.
The key thing is to look at our bedding areas, the feeding areas, and the trails that link the two. You can always walk fence lines and look for trails across fences, and a lot of times a buck will lose an antler when he jumps over or even maybe snags it when he goes under the fence. So that's kind of an easy way to start. Beyond that, open fields are good. You can drive around in the wintertime at night, see what fields the deer are using and see if there's any bucks in those fields, and then come back to those fields later.
Deer like to bask in the sun on a south-facing hillside and find shelter in conifer trees. Those are good places to look as well. Shed says antlers are yours to keep if you can find them before the critters do.
Several different animals will chew on the sheds. They get the calcium content out of antlers. Antlers are mostly made out of calcium and phosphorus. And squirrels in particular, as well as mice, porcupines, and cattle and elk will even chew on the antlers.
The time to look for antlers is anywhere between November and the first week of May, but Shed says you'll probably have the best luck from the middle of December through early March. Find more tips for hunting shed antlers at livingthecountrylife.com. I'll see you in the country.
Living the Country Life. Ideas and inspiration for your place in the country. You can find more information on today's topic, share your tips, and post photos by visiting us online at livingthecountrylife.com.
KNDY.
Maybe this year you're looking for a fresh start, a sense of connection, or a place where you can ask real questions about life and faith. St. Mark's Lutheran Church in Waterville would love to be that place for you. This is Pastor David Thompson. At our church, you'll find people from all walks of life discovering hope, purpose, and community together. Join us every Sunday at 10:45 for worship or our men's breakfast on Wednesday mornings at 7 a.m. at the Weaver Hotel in Waterville. Experience a community shaped by grace, open hearts, and the belief that no one should walk through life alone. Join us at St. Mark's Lutheran Church in Waterville, the place to believe, belong, and become.
What keeps us from giving more? Hi, I'm Rob West with today's Faith and Finance Minute. For many of us, it isn't greed, it's fear. We worry there won't be enough left, that generosity will limit our future or our security. But Scripture gently invites us to see giving differently. God doesn't call us to give out of pressure, but out of trust. Jesus said it is more blessed to give than to receive, not because God needs our money, but because giving loosens money's grip on our hearts. When we give, we step into a deeper experience of God's provision and faithfulness. We begin to see that what we hold loosely, God multiplies in ways money never could. Generosity isn't about losing something. It's about gaining freedom, joy, and a closer walk with the giver of every good gift. Manage your finances wisely with the easy-to-use FaithFi app. Download FaithFi, Faith and Finance from your app store, or learn more at faithfi.com.
Hanover Hospital and Clinic is excited to welcome nurse practitioner Lydia Easterberg to our growing care team. Lydia is passionate about serving Hanover and the surrounding communities by building lasting relationships with patients and focusing on prevention, education, and personalized care. She'll be working alongside nurse practitioners Jada Edgar and Aubrey Schaefer and Dr. Tyler Shriver. Trusted care close to home. Now with even more providers ready to care for you at Hanover Hospital and Warren Clinic.
KNDY.
A top USDA official blames poor ag trade prospects on the previous administration. That's next on Farm to Fork.
Hey there, it's Mike Rowe, and if you're out there getting dirty, do me a favor and remember to call or click 811 before you dig. And when I say dig, I refer to any activity requiring boring, tilling, drilling, probing, reaming, plowing, drudging, or even scoping. Anything that causes you to roll up your sleeves a little and dig in requires you to first connect with 811 so that you can avoid all those buried pipes, wires, and cables underground. To sum up, call or click 811 before you dig and visit safeexcavator.com for more information.
Something as simple as emptying a grain bin can lead to tragedy. Grain headed toward an auger is like quicksand, and farmers who've been pulled under have suffocated. If you absolutely have to be in the bin, make sure you're wearing a safety harness tethered to keep you above the surface. Farm safety and health is everyone's business. This reminder is brought to you by Farm to Fork through the generous support of listeners like you across the country. Learn how you can help at NorthshoreProductions.com. U.S. Department of Agriculture Deputy Secretary Stephen Vaden says U.S. farmers are hurting from the Biden administration's failed ag trade policies. During a webinar put on by the National Ag Law Center at the University of Arkansas, Vaden said the previous administration did nothing to promote ag trade.
And it doesn't matter whether we're talking about agriculture or whether we're talking about manufacturing or whether we're talking about the service sector. If you spend 4 years treading water and not innovating and not growing and not progressing, you're going to fall behind. And that's what's happened.
As a result, says Vaden, one of our chief trade competitors, Brazil, took advantage of the situation.
They have been unceasingly increasing their agricultural footprint. Whether we're talking about corn, soy, sugar, cotton, and for the first time ever, last year, they exceeded our production in beef. They have been taking our market share and challenging us for our customers.
Vaden says USDA and the current administration have prioritized the rebuilding of trade relationships to allow American farmers to get back in that game again. That's Farm to Fork. I'm Darrell Anderson.
News from the Mid-America Ag Network. I'm James Guerin. It's always a good time to think about safety on your farm. Chase Pagel, a safety consultant for Pagel's Ponderosa Dairy in Wisconsin, says her operations hold trainings with their local safety officials.
We try to do, if not every year, every other year, the fire departments will come in, walk through the facilities. We like them aware if there's animal areas, if there's high hazard areas. So we do have methane in the digesters, and if there was a fire or something, those are going to be more of our high hazard areas, something with a lot of chemicals. So we do have maps put together of all this, but it's nice to have your fire departments come out, even sometimes your EMTs, because they never know what they're walking into either.
If you do have an accident on the farm, it's good to bring emergency responders and others in to talk about what happened.
I do recommend if you do have an on-farm accident, bringing those people in that helped during it to kind of do a debrief to say, hey, what went great, what went wrong, what are things that we can help the fire department understand better, the EMTs, and kind of work together. It really does help because then everybody is prepared. I know us having like an emergency response team, we practice some of those drills. We have put together different departments, like if you're more of a scene control or if you're helping with firefighting things until the fire department gets there, or first responder type where you're trained in the first aid to kind of help that person out until the EMTs get there.
She said the extra work will be worth it if there is a farm accident in the future.
Yeah, a lot of training goes into it and a lot of pre-work, but I think it's better because that way people are prepared if there is something that does happen.
As farm activity ramps up, it's important to coordinate with local first responders to ensure safety. Sharing maps of your operation, locations of fuel and chemical storage, and access points can save valuable time in an emergency. Hosting a walkthrough or safety briefing on your farm helps responders understand the layout and potential hazards. Clear communication and preparation not only protect your operation, but also help emergency crews respond quickly and effectively if something goes wrong.
Save time with the Smart Hub app from TCEC because life shouldn't have to stop when your bills are due. Get the Smart Hub app today and set up reoccurring automatic payments so you can get back to what's most important. It's smart, simple, and easy. Learn how to save time today at tcec.coop. Click on Register for online access in the login box on our website and get started today. And it's all with your Tri-County Electric Co-op. Find them online again at tcec.coop.
It's time to stress less with more money in your pocket. United makes it easy for you to stay connected with family and friends and save while you're doing it with 3 months free. For a limited time, get 3 months free of mobile wireless or wireless internet service with United. Get high-speed connectivity, unlimited talk, text, and data, and more money in your pocket. When you choose United, you're supporting a member-owned cooperative, proudly connecting Southwest Kansas with coverage you can trust. Visit getunited.com/radio or stop by a United store to get your 3 months free today. Terms and conditions.
There will be a land auction in Nemaha County Saturday, February 28th for the Haverkamp Family Trust.
Property located southeast of Seneca. This is a very nice farm with rural water meter. Would make a great building site, being located a half mile off US 36. A nice combination of pasture and farmland would support a cattle operation. 78 acres more or less. Property has 52 acres of tillable farmland, cattle water and rural water meter, the balance in waterways, very easy access with roads on two sides. Farm has many tile outlets and is a well-maintained farm. Located 9 miles east of Seneca on US 36 to T Road, then a half mile south. For inspection, contact Mike Kuckelman or Dale Wilhelm. This land auction Saturday, February 28th, begins 10 a.m. at the Knights of Columbus Hall in Seneca. Seneca Auction and Realty will conduct the sale.
Accidental manure spills happen, but when and why? Researchers have been studying those questions on Successful Farming Radio.
Successful Farming Radio, providing information farmers need in the field, in the shop, and in the office. Committed to growing your business in agriculture.
Check out our full lineup of Successful Farming podcasts. The Successful Farming podcast goes in-depth into the topics that affect farmers and ranchers. The 15 Minutes with a Farmer podcast offers a quick conversation between an editor and a farmer. The SF Shorts podcast offers bite-sized interviews about agricultural topics. And the SF Daily podcast covers commodity markets, weather, and the big things happening in agriculture each morning. Search for Successful Farming wherever you download your podcasts. If you're looking for ideas and inspiration for your place in the country, register for the Living the Country Life newsletter. You'll receive helpful tips and information about a wide variety of seasonal topics, including pets, livestock, gardening, machinery, and more, delivered straight to your inbox twice each month. Sign up for your newsletter today at agriculture.com.
Past 15 years, researchers at the University of Wisconsin have been studying the root causes of manure spills and when they're most likely to happen. Most recently, they found 38% of spills are caused by transportation-related issues, about 38% are on the farm, and land application accounts for 23 to 24% of the overall incidences. Kevin Erb is the Extension Conservation Professional Training Program Director at the University of Wisconsin. He says one of the more interesting things they saw was when there was a transportation incident involving a valve that was accidentally opened, spilling out the manure.
We had 32 incidences of where the valve accidentally opened while the truck was going down the road. And of those, more than half occurred within a tenth of a mile of an intersection. And it turns out that a lot of times the valve opening switch is right next to the Jake brake switch on the semi, and just instinctively reaching over, flipping the switch, and hitting the wrong one.
On the farm, most of the land application problems with manure runoff used to happen when it was spread on frozen ground, but this is changing.
As the regulations have changed, as farmers have improved their land application practices, what we're seeing is a lot less runoff in spring, but now we're beginning to see a shift towards some of those field runoff situations happening in the fall. And so this is one of those things where over time you will see shifts. And just because we address a problem at one point doesn't mean that it's permanently fixed.
I'm Jody Henke. Watch Herb's manure research presentation at agriculture.com.
Attention farmers and livestock owners looking for top quality feed and essential supplies for your animals. Look no further than Home City Grain, offering a wide variety of feed options for small and large livestock, as well as smart lick tubs, perfect for providing essential nutrients to your herd. Contact Home City Grain today at 785-799-3326 or find them online at homecitygrain.com for up-to-the-minute grain bids, weather outlook, and more.
From Kansas State University, this is Agriculture Today. I'm Colton Tripp. With warmer days upon us, K-State Fisheries and Aquatic Specialist Joe Gherkin discusses the importance of testing water. He emphasizes the need to check for ammonia, nitrates, and nitrates, not only in recreational ponds and other aquatic areas, but also in water sources used for livestock drinking.
Water quality parameters are kind of what I'm thinking about, and this is a good time of year. And so, as we start to move out of those really, really cold winter months and start to move into some of the springtime temperatures, we start to see some of the changes in water quality. And so, some of the beneficial bacteria that are breaking down ammonia or nitrites into things like nitrates aren't quite active yet. So the temperatures of our water is still probably somewhere, around 40 degrees Fahrenheit, maybe even a little bit cooler. So still really chilly. And so most of these bacteria go dormant when they're in those temperatures. And so we might start to see the accumulation of some of these different parameters that can affect how much water the livestock are drinking or the palatability of it.
Gerken explains where people can send samples off to for testing.
There are a lot of different tests out there, and your local extension agent can probably help get you in touch with those. If you're interested in getting more specific values, you can send a sample to Kansas State to me, and I can run that for you. That's something free offered through extension. So basic water tests are something that we can definitely help you out with. But if you're a bigger operation, monitoring your water quality is something you definitely want to do.
Clean drinking water can aid in improving the overall value for livestock.
There's a lot of research that shows that cattle prefer cleaner water. And so things like really small amounts of manure can make the palatability of it decrease. And so your cattle will start drinking less water in a lot of cases, and that affects how much they're eating and their daily gains. So something you definitely want to keep track of. At the end of the day, livestock are going to drink, and so they need to have access to water. If they only have access to dirty water, they're still going to drink it. They're not going to be stupid enough to not go drink that water, right? But the amount that they consume can change based on different parameters, and that might be things like manure, or it might be things like ammonia, it might be heavy metals. So there's lots of water quality parameters that can affect the livestock, how much they're drinking, and that at the end of the day affects the value that we're gaining from those livestock.
That was K-State Fisheries and Aquatic Specialist Joe Gerken on the importance of testing water for ammonia, nitrates, and nitrates, as well as making sure it is free of manure contamination. For more information, visit www.extension.kstate.edu. I'm Colton Tripp, and this has been Agriculture Today over the K-State Radio Network.
With growth and expansion comes the need for more employees. Join the team at Landall in Marysville and Travelong by Landall in Waterville. Looking to hire mechanically inclined individuals for assembly, experienced painters and welders, and a traveling service technician. Competitive wages, raises, bonuses, and a full line of benefits beginning after 2 months of employment. Learn more and apply online at landall.com. EEO Vets and Disability welcome.
Market information from the Mid-America Ag Network. I'm James Garrett. Moving through Thursday as we get a little closer to the end of the trading day over in the grains market. It's been the same story over here as we have mixed numbers all across the board, going back and forth since the start of the day. Over in the seeds market, a little bit more red across the board over here as those numbers are mixed and mostly lower across the board. And for the livestock, the cattle continue to be all in the red and falling fast into the red, and the hogs are still mixed across the board. In the corn market, March corn down 2 cents at 4.28 and May down 1 1/4 at 4.40 3/4. Kansas City wheat for March down 1/4 cent at 5.52 1/4 and May down 2 1/4 at 5.62 even. In the oats market, March oats up 17 cents at 3.30 3/4 and May down a nickel at 3.20 1/2. In the bean market, March beans down 5 1/4 at 11.43 even and May down 6 1/4 at 11.58 3/4. Soybean meal for March down 2.30 at 3.16 even and May down 2.50 at 3.19.30. Soybean oil for March up $1.09 at 61.35 and May up $1.10 at 61.77. In the canola market, March canola up $2.20 at $6.81.90 and May up $2 at $6.93.40. In the cotton market, May cotton down 84 cents at $65.33 and July down 80 cents at $67 even. Looking at the currencies for the first time today, the U.S. dollar index for March up 28 cents at 97.91 and June up 27 cents at 97.60. The euro for March is slightly in the red down to $1.17 and the June euro in the red as well at $1.18. The Japanese yen for March is currently unchanged at 64 cents and the June yen in the green slightly, also at 64 cents. Taking a look at our midday stock market numbers, and there's been a lot of red as of late as the S&P 500 falls as Nvidia rolls over following earnings, with the Dow Jones down 160 points at 49,321, the S&P 500 down 73 points at 6,872, and the Nasdaq down 439 points at 22,712.
Your best resource for groundwater exploration and production is Hydro Resources. With decades of experience from starting in the 1940s, Hydro Resources has been drilling and servicing wells for commercial and irrigation needs. With 15,000 wells drilled and counting, we are determined to help you with all your water well drilling needs and service. Give Hydro Resources a call at 620-227-2389 or check them out online at hydroresources.com. Hydro Resources, the safe way to your water well drilling needs.
I'm Amanda with Communities in Schools. I'm in school to connect at-risk students with community resources like food, shelter, and healthcare. I'm in school to support kids coping with losing a loved one, divorce, or bullying. I'm in school to partner with teachers, so what happens outside the classroom doesn't impact students learning inside the classroom. Above all, I'm in school to help kids stay in school. See how we help all students succeed at communitiesinschools.org.
A salute during National FFA Month from Marshall County Farm Bureau, Route 77 Corner Stores, and Schroller Collision Center.
Hi, my name is Alyssa Juneman, and I'm the Washington County FFA Chapter Secretary. I've been in FFA for 4 years now, and my favorite activity is nursery landscape. I've done it all 4 years, and I really like it because you learn a lot of new things that you can use every day and out in the real world. One of the benefits of FFA is teamwork because whatever activity you do, you'll always be working with a team and you can push each other. And then to encourage other people to join, I would say that the biggest thing is that you get to work with people outside of your school and your grade, and so it really pushes you to make new friends, and so I would really recommend doing FFA.
A salute during National FFA Month from Marshall County Farm Bureau, Route 77 Corner Stores, and Schroller Collision Center.
From ABC News, Wall Street now. After finishing with gains the past 2 days, stocks this morning were looking for traction. The Dow Jones was flat going into the midday, while the S&P was off 0.6%. The Nasdaq was lower by 1.25%. Concern over the housing market has taken a toll on home improvement companies. Both Lowe's and Home Depot have downbeat outlooks for the year as home sales and the projects that often come with them are stalled by high interest rates. Samsung has unveiled its Galaxy S26 line and its hefty price tag as well. The high cost of memory chips has pushed the price for the base model to $900, up nearly 5%. Those devices go on sale next month. The newest hiree at Burger King is not a person, but an AI assistant named Patty that lives in the headsets of human employees. Part of Patty's job is to track the number of times workers say please, thank you, and welcome to Burger King. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
The Norris Motor Company in Marysville has a pair of 2024 Silverado 1500 and 2500 model pickups. Both are the LTZ 71 package and local one-owner trades. They have a 2023 Silverado 1500 model pickup, 37,000 miles, a 2023 Buick Enclave, and a 2022 Chevy Equinox in on trade as well at the Norris Motor Company.
KNDY.